Welcome to the Evidence Informed Teaching Podcast. Are you a teacher wanting to improve your classroom practice and deliver excellent teaching through access to research? Do you have a passion for teaching and are looking to connect with other like-minded colleagues through professional discussions? The Chartered College has partnered with TeacherTapp to support teachers to deliver excellent teaching through access to research, and we invite you to be part of this community. On this podcast, you will hear from fellow teachers, research experts, and you have the opportunity to be part of this professional discussion. You can find out more about the Chartered College of Teaching and TeacherTapp in the show notes. And if you find this episode helpful, why not share it with a teacher friend, take a screenshot and post it on your social media, or even better, leave us a 5-star written review.
Hello, my name is Laura McInerny. I'm the co-founder of TeacherTapp, the daily survey app, which is for teachers in primary, secondary and special schools, mainly in England, but you can be on there in other countries as well. And it has 3 main purposes. Number 1, we gather the opinions and views of teachers on the ground so that they can make clear what school is like and reality is on the ground. Number 2, they're able to take part in national education research projects as part of being in a research-informed profession. And number 3, we use all of this knowledge to influence policymakers, those who are making decisions, and school leaders to try and get positive change within the education space. There's about 40,000 teachers who have TeacherTapp on their phones, and 9,000 use it on any given day. The simplest way to take part is to download TeacherTapp onto your phone. You do that via the App Store. It's available on iPhone and Android. It's simple, it's free, it's easy to download. The hardest bit is that TeacherTapp has 2 Ps because we are the app that you tap each day. So TeacherTapp with 2 Ps. Once it's downloaded, it's quick, simple and easy to get into. From there, each day, the app will ping just once. So it works like other trendy apps, a bit like Be Real, where it will just ping once and there is one thing for you to do, which is when you open it, there will be a set of questions. There's usually 3 multiple choice, really simple questions that we know take less than a minute to answer. Those questions might be about different things. So we might ask something very simple like, did you use a particular piece of technology today? Did you eat your lunch in a particular place? Or in fact, did you eat lunch at all? We sometimes ask policy questions, so we've been asking recently about Rishi Sunak and his idea of all young people doing maths to 18. I can tell you that the English teachers are particularly unhappy about it. And we also ask questions about life more generally. So on weekends, we might ask about hobbies. We also try and understand a little bit more about teachers' lives more broadly, how they travel to school, and what kind of things motivate them to be in school. And that's because all of this builds up to create a picture of what's going on in schools that helps people in 2 ways. Number 1, once the teachers have answered the questions, they also get to see the results back on the app. So it's a bit like crosswords in the olden days of newspapers where you got to see the answers the next day. That's also how the app works. You will get to see the results from everybody the next day, and that way you can learn what's going on in other schools. In fact, I had a colleague friend get in touch last week, and she was interested in how mark books are working in other schools. She didn't tell me what she was interested in. She didn't want to, I think, bias the question, but we did a very clear question of what sort of mark book do you have? We got the results today and she felt vindicated because 24% of people said they still have a physical mark book. And she, as the head teacher, had given everybody physical mark books. And I think somebody had laughed at her and said, no one uses these anymore. And of course, she was able to say that's not true. 24% of teachers are still using physical mark books. So we try and make sure that schools are getting that information back, teachers are getting that information, and we do now have a new school survey service. So if you're a school leader and you're trying to find ways of surveying your staff to find out if what they think is usual or different than national benchmarks, we can help with that. But by and large, what we do is we give that data back through TeacherTapp each day. And then beyond that, we work in all kinds of commissioned research to make sure that information gets into the hands of those who are making policies. For example, in the pandemic, we worked extensively with the Sutton Trust, looking at laptops, digital divide. how many hours a day were teachers seeing different types of pupils, so that we could be at the front of pushing for the laptops from governments, the ability to get internet chips out to people so that they could have SIM cards that would give them free internet, for example. Before the pandemic, we were working very heavily on workload. In fact, by 2019, gains were being made on workload, especially around marking and data, a lot of which was because the data that we'd gathered in 2017 and 2018 could show that there needed to be a shift change, and there was for a short period of time. Of course, Ofsted was then coming in with curriculum. We were able to show to Ofsted how much extra workload the curriculum intent and implementation stuff did as well. So I think it's important that teachers are taking part in this kind of research. There's very little time to be involved in big research projects, but you can, with 50 seconds a day, really make a difference to what those in Ofsted, Ofqual, the DFE are hearing about the reality of teachers on the ground. And so that's why we do TeacherTapp. It's what gets us up in the morning and makes it interesting and exciting, because you think it sounds easy actually to run a little app like this that just pops off once a day. But the data that's in the background is unbelievable. And that's why my co-founder, Professor Becky Allen, who is, just such a phenomenal brain in terms of data, understanding, education, and the kind of analysis that she delivers in our annual reports. For example, we've worked with the Gatsby Foundation now for several years to look at the teacher recruitment market. We've delivered on reports on retention. Becky's looked specifically at science teachers as well and what we can do there. The breadth of knowledge that we've got now from 5 years of this data is unbelievable. And as we are transitioning out of pandemic and back to something that looks a bit like school used to look like, we are very hopeful that by having more teachers engaging with this and us improving what we do and what we deliver, that we will be able to make sure that every teacher every year takes part in at least a few bits of research, looks at some of that data. And, even if I've not sold you yet on the daily questions or on seeing the results, we do have these little daily research reads because we know it can be very overwhelming for people. So if nothing else, get on there, answer your questions, know that you've done a bit of research, and also then you get your daily research reads. For more information, if people are interested, they can also check out the website, teachertapp.co.uk. And we also have a weekly newsletter that goes out to people who are on TeacherTapp, which gives a précis of the results. And those are available, those kind of results are available on teachertapp.co.uk/articles. So if you do want to kind of try before you, buy, it's not buy because it's all free, but if you do want to try and see what it's all about, then teachertapp.co.uk is a good place. Otherwise, I always say download it, see if you like it, and if you hate it, delete it, but you won't. I promise that you'll like it. So one more time, the best place to find us is teachertapp.co.uk. Remember, that's tap double P. Teachertapp.co.uk is our website. Have a look at that, check it out. It'll tell you whether or not you're interested more broadly. And our results, we share those as broadly as we can in the app every Tuesday. We do various bits of analysis, but we also put lots of those findings as well on the website. That's teachertapp.co.uk/articles, and you'll find past findings in there. So then if you think they look like something you're interested in, something you want to share with your staff, please share them, use them. If you're doing a dissertation or a master's or an MPQ or anything else, feel free to get data there that's useful. Cite it how you wish. We're very unfussy about these things, but what we would say is if you do use it, if you share it with colleagues, we'd love you to sign up to TeacherTapp, the app, because that's how we get this information, and we rely on all teachers being generous, sharing their time so that we can contribute to this growing and brilliant body of knowledge.
If you have enjoyed today's episode and would like to access more research evidence for your classroom, you can join the Chartered College of Teaching for as little as $1.96 per month at www.chartered.college. And remember to download TeacherTapp free from your app or Play Store to share your views, opinions, and experiences from the classroom. Every voice makes the picture clearer.